Welcome back to the Crude Project, everyone. I'm here with Ant and Kevin the 2 Cent, and as always, we've got a great episode for you guys. We've got Ant.
The eclipse.
Before we get to the eclipse, if you guys like the content that we share, please subscribe to the channel for more episodes like this, for more content like this. Go over to our Spotify channel. Follow us on Spotify for a great commute listen. If you can't watch the video, and well, with that little bit out of the way, we'll jump right into it.
The date is April 9th, the day after the second coming of Jesus. That did not happen. We survived it. It's another apocalyptic event on the books. No earthquakes, no planes crashed,
No tsunamis.
no tsunamis, no biblical events. The moon didn't fall into the earth. Here we are. I'm
Nope.
tired of going through these, I'm tired of making it through these apocalyptic events, and it was cloudy. I didn't even get to fully see the eclipse. It was cloudy.
Yeah. For those that didn't see it, there was a bunch of people that went to Niagara Falls.
Oh, was
They
that a...
booked. Well, it was
yeah.
like supposed to be.
That was
in that
100%?
region. It was 100%
Nice.
going to be. So there, a lot of people went in advance and booked hotels, and they stayed there specifically to see the eclipse, the full eclipse over there.
I mean,
And
it's a
it
pretty big
was-
event. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, people were disappointed as hell because some people were looking out of their window, and they were just like, "Yo, what the hell is this?" Completely cloudy, absolute cloud, nothing, no skies in sight. So people were so mad. They were so mad. And then I saw this guy who put out a report of how much the eclipse generated for US specifically.
Ooh.
And apparently the eclipse generated about 6 billion plus in revenue. Dog, it was insane because
Let's go GDP.
people were buying a whole lot of preparedness stuff because of all the speculation about what was going to happen, earthquakes and this and that, the tsunami, whatever. A whole lot of people for the past month and even more than that, people were buying a whole lot of preparedness material. And not to mention that a whole lot of people traveled from other parts of the country that the eclipse wasn't going to be there
To come see.
to come specifically to areas that it was going to be full eclipse, and they booked in hotels. So hotel prices for the trajectory of wherever the eclipse
they
was,
jacked
it was up, and hotels were like basically for those areas were like all booked. So a lot of money it was generated that way as well. So yeah, total it was like over 6 billion revenue was just generated from a single
That's
eclipse.
crazy.
It was insane. I was like,
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the good thing
Damn.
that came out of everything.
I guess.
Like you were saying, like people with this whole preparedness stuff, there was a lot of people that were making heavy accusations on what could have happened
Mm-hmm.
or what was supposed to happen, or
Right.
a lot of doomsday sayers. And it's like happened. So we got through 2020. We got through, well, those who may remember 2012,
2012.
the end of the Mayan calendar,
How many movies were made?
right? Y2K. There's just, in my lifetime, this is now like the 4th or the 5th one. I might be even missing one that I never even
who
heard
knows?
about.
Yeah, probably.
But-
We're probably missing a few actually. Who knows? That wasn't
Didn't get big enough, maybe. Who knows?
Wasn't marketed that big. Yeah.
But this was literally like hitting all across social media as becoming like this massive potential apocalyptic event. And I personally saw some TikToks where people were blowing this out of proportion.
Mhm.
And I just want to say, This is what gives the conspiracy. We all love conspiracy theories. If you guys ever watch any of our videos, we love conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Ones that hold good value. These people were saying, repent, get ready for Jesus. That earthquakes are going to happen directly because of this. They're trying to tie in the earthquake from Taiwan with the eclipse that happened yesterday. They're tying in 2020 COVID. Now we're throwing viruses onto an eclipse happening?
Yeah, people were speculating or
Way too much.
claiming actually that the eclipse is the cause of COVID's spread and of COVID's creation and spread. Like, what?
And the crazy thing about the worst part, we get hate in the comment section when we bring known conspiracies that have been tried and true and been pretty much almost proven to a T.
Right.
Oh, you guys are crazy. You guys don't know what you're talking about. We're going to pull up a video of a guy who's on TikTok who's got like a cult following. We need those people. I want them people in our chat. Because what is it? This had 3 million. Do you have it up? Good. So 3 million views on this guy who had to, let me give you a little backstory. This guy's name is Dakla Day. He made a video prior to the eclipse saying it was going to be bad news. Then a few days later, he backtracked and put out an apology video. Then 2 days later, he doubles down and then goes back to saying that the apocalypse is going to happen due to the eclipse. Now, he gives a lot of crazy good scientific actual things, but he's trying to tie it in together with an apocalyptic happenstance, and he's making too much vague
claims
because of earthquakes. Earthquakes are always going to happen. The eclipses will happen. Lunar and solar eclipses are just they've been happening.
Right.
They're going to happen.
I mean, if you know anything about space and astrology, if you've gone to school and you had science classes, you're gonna know the basics of this stuff. So
but he goes into really good detail with like some of the more specific things of why things happen. But it's like saying when something bad happens, it's so easy for them to go, see, look. Like, an earthquake happened in Taiwan. That's not the only earthquake Taiwan has ever had. It's not going to be the only earthquake they're ever going to have. You can't just say, look, see, I was right. There's an earthquake. Oh, see the one in New York? See, things are bad.
they're on a major fault line,
Right,
though, because
that's what I'm saying.
they're on the line of the Ring of Fire, aren't they?
Yes.
So that's like one of the major areas where all the earthquakes will happen.
It's like
inevitably.
It's like saying there's going to be an earthquake in San Francisco. Wow. I mean, Nobel Peace Prize for this guy. Holy smokes. Who is this dude?
Didn't Ryan Garcia make that prediction?
He did. And
Come on, bro. I don't like he's another guy where he's like losing it in the recent times, bro. He's been making some crazy claims as well. Like he was like, "Oh, see what I tell you guys? Jesus is coming. Solar eclipse was happening. And the earthquake happened in New York. 4.8 or 4.9 magnitude of earthquake that happened in New York. Immediately, Ryan Garcia jumps on his live and he's going on about, what did I tell you guys? I told you guys Jesus is coming. See, these earthquakes will happen.
Repent.
The next,
Repent.
I bet you guys, the next earthquake, mark my words, the next earthquake is going to happen in California. I'm just like...
Not wrong. I mean, it could. You could be.
What? Bro, yeah. I mean, San Andreas, bro.
Not a bad play, brother. Not a bad play. Tuesday. Not a lot of people are gonna get that skit, but Go ahead and play. Just play this if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's see this TikTok that this guy
It's
was.
not just a normal solar eclipse, and even if it was, that would be bad news enough. Upon further investigation, I have far more confidence in the things that I have already said. Let me show you what I have found. 7.4 earthquake and several aftershocks hit Taiwan yesterday.
Can you pause it
8
real
days
quick?
after a...
See what I'm talking about? We immediately go from a solar eclipse that is going to cover the United States, and his first credible thing is an earthquake that happens
across the world.
in Taiwan. This is immediately where we go to. So like factual things, and he's going to then explain how the earthquake could come about, that it's on a fault line, and he gives you good factual information. But then we're going to tie it to like the solar eclipse, and now things horribly are going to like horrible things are going to happen one way or another. But it's just the way he's trying to portray it and then put it all together.
And the earthquake with Taiwan.
Yeah.
I'll make a point about that, but we'll let this
goes
TikTok
on for
finish.
like 9 minutes. You play for a little bit longer. I don't even know how much.
A total lunar eclipse hit the Pacific plate and the North American plate at the same time. For reference, the lunar eclipse covered this area right here over top of the divide between the Pacific and North American plates. The earthquake was over here in Taiwan, on the other side of the Pacific plate.
So far
Correlation
away.
does not...
It's so far away. So he's saying the lunar eclipse was like halfway across the planet, but the earthquake was all the way over here. So this is what I'm saying. So he's making a claim that there was a lunar eclipse that touched near a fault line that is in the Ring of Fire,
Right.
known for earthquakes. Earthquake activity will always be at the Ring of Fire. It's, I think, if not the largest tectonic plate shift that ever happens on the planet
Yep.
at any given time. And now that lunar eclipses are on both sides, that, oh, well, the Earth is going to fall apart or something. I don't know. It's going to be Lego pieces here soon. But I'm sure there's probably some facts of the gravitational pull of the moon and the sun. Oh, look, I'm not a fucking astrologer. But it's fear-mongering, right? Like this guy claims all these kinds of things, and then in a couple of videos, like we don't have to play anymore. He goes. It's like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He goes into deeper, and then he goes to an apology video, and then he doubles back down, and then he's like, oh, well, you know, some things are going to happen in the far future. Okay. Some things are going to happen in the far future. Yeah, no, yeah, sure. I'm going to have a birthday. Christmas is coming. We're going to have summer. Fall's going to come back around. Election year's coming up. You know, a lot of things are going to happen.
It is election year.
Yeah. See? It's already happening. Whoa. Easy.
Whole lot of predictions.
Wait, what does that comment say?
So
The firebenders are powerless during this eclipse?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of people we need.
I saw another meme about it was that when the total solar eclipse was happening. It was the last Airbender Aang. There was this guy who posted a picture of Aang shaving his hair to show his tattoos again, and he was like preparing for the invasion of Earth Kingdom. Oh, not Earth Kingdom, Fire Kingdom.
Nation. Yeah.
It was like
Me, the only sensible person going after the Fire Nation during the solar eclipse. They're powerless.
Man. So my point about Taiwan was the earthquake in Taiwan was, for all we know, the earthquake in Taiwan could have honestly, I talked about this a while back in one of our earlier episodes maybe, but the earthquake could honestly be a direct energy weapon from China. I mean, look what's going on with Taiwan and China right now. China is hell-bent on taking Taiwan back as part of their
Territory?
And so
I mean, I think they've had a lot of activity,
US,
though.
Yeah, and that's why US is also trying to, the tensions between US and China are growing over Taiwan, because the U.S. obviously does not want China to take over Taiwan and invade it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if anything, the earthquake is probably China's doing. If anything, to
like
weaken. I'm just saying, to weaken them.
Your beard's growing. Hold on, where's your cowboy hat?
Hold on. Because Remember when I told you guys about the energy weapon that they had in Antarctica? Do you guys remember?
Oh yeah.
Which
I've
is
heard. I've
which
heard of
is
it. I've heard
yeah,
of it.
which is not
Thirsty.
proven to be true just yet. It's also speculation. And what I'm claiming about China maybe having a direct involvement with the earthquake happening in Taiwan, this is also just speculation. But what are the chances that if a technology like that does exist, and some people claim that it does exist, that there is a direct energy weapon like that that does exist that could cause earthquakes directed at certain areas?
I mean, that would
And
be
what
pretty
if
crazy.
China does have that? It's their, like, deep state weapon, secret weapon or whatever. And since they are at war with secretly, or not so secretly actually now,
It's like a proxy war.
with Taiwan to take Taiwan back as their territory. What if this was their ploy to, hey, you know what? U.S. is distracted by the solar eclipse. Let's hit them with the earthquake right now. Weaken Taiwan, and we will have a better chance of invading them.
I think they had to do more than that. I think they had to do more than an earthquake because it was like a. I don't think it shook the entirety of Taiwan.
No, but what if
I'm
they?
sure on
What
the
if?
day it would.
What if it created a certain path for them into Taiwan?
Well, wouldn't that so? Not to
Just
get into the weeds or anything.
just food for thought,
Yeah, I think that maybe possibly, but look, so that sort of claim I'm okay with, and not to be biased or anything like that, but how that person was doing things was much more of a fear mongering, much more of a repent. He even had another video where it was 3 days of darkness is to come, and this was before the eclipse. He made a lot of heavy claims about an apocalyptic style event, things are coming to the end, get right with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sort of thing that's what puts dumb fear into people. People then want to start to do dumb stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's when people start trampling each other in grocery stores.
Right.
You can't put that sort of fear into people. And this guy's just the tip of the iceberg of when it comes to these horrible style of bringing forth a conspiracy theory at the beginning.
There was other claims about people saying that the government is going to spray some kind of chemical in the sky to basically a bioweapon in the sky to cover the U.S. population, because everyone is going to be outside and they're going to be in large gatherings. So it'd be like a perfect opportunity to basically get them all in
Right.
one go with this bioweapon. But spraying something in the sky while everyone is looking up,
At the sky?
and the government is going to do that, and it's supposed to be something that's supposed to be secretive, you're
kind
not
of a-
supposed to, defeats the purpose, right? You're trying to do this secretly spray something in the sky, but everyone's looking up. So how you these are the type of fear mongering things that these are the type of claims that are pretty stupid in my opinion. Come on, bro. If anything, they'll do something indoors. This is probably a chance that they're gonna take while everyone is distracted with this. They're gonna be in some laboratory creating another COVID or something, or the government is gonna take this chance while everyone is distracted with this. They're gonna be in their little offices in the Congress trying to pass another bill that's gonna be harmful towards the American people. For all we know, they probably did, and we don't know about it, and we'll find out later on, maybe in the coming weeks or months or whatever. Hey, when that solar eclipse happened, that's when they passed this bill. Y'all just didn't know about it, and now you know.
Right. Everyone's so looking one way and they did something else. I mean, that's not the first time they do something like
No,
that.
I mean they used the Super Bowl to pass the bill for, what was it? Sending money.
Oh, yeah. One of the many.
Yeah, one of the many.
But
So
I think the one other thing people were concerned about, you guys hear about CERN?
That's the other thing that I was
But
actually going
the
to,
particle accelerator was turned back on at that day.
after 2 years.
And then people looked into a lot, and it just became like a large. It was like so many crazy events were supposed to happen on like one crazy day, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, what?" Like, I don't know if NASA ever did, but they were supposed to shoot rockets
They
at the
so
moon.
I mean, no one covered it, but they definitely did say they will 100% shoot 3 rockets into the dark of the moon, into the dark side of the moon. Remember, we did an episode
We
on
did talk
that.
about that.
We did talk about that. Now, why would you shoot 3 rockets in a total solar eclipse, one that's being highly speculated about, fear-mongered about, and shoot 3 rockets in the dark of the moon? What's so special about the dark of the moon? You know? You barely know about your own oceans all that much, but
Yeah.
you're concerned about the dark of the moon so much. And it's just
Get a little comfy.
I don't know, like the CERN. I found out about a little bit about CERN, and CERN, apparently the headquarters of CERN is in Switzerland. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And guess what else is in Switzerland?
The devil.
Guess what else is also in
Oh,
this
it's
in
a
the
song.
well, no. You're not far off. Guess what else is also in Switzerland?
Are you talking about the statue,
What statue?
Shiva?
I don't know about that actually. You
They
might
have
be
a
onto
Shiva.
something.
They have a Shiva
Oh,
statue.
yeah, right.
That was
Yeah,
gifted by
that's,
India.
That's in front of CERN. Yeah.
It's,
So
yeah.
it's in front of CERN's headquarters. Yeah, but that's not what I'm referring to. What I'm referring to is Davos. Davos is the meeting place for World Economic Forum and other organizations like the World Economic Forum that are aligned with World Economic Forum. A bunch of 3-letter agencies. That's like a meeting hub. Now, other speculation has also, been circulating about how Switzerland is like a center point for all evil doing, for all evil headquarters
pretty
and
there.
whatever, And it's just like, it got me thinking, why has Switzerland, throughout almost every single war, they have stayed neutral? They have avoided participating in any wars that would possibly drag them to bring any sort of catastrophe to the country, because
A dang particle accelerator in there. They hit
listen.
that dang too hard. You fitting to
But yeah,
turn
listen,
the plane
though.
all cattywampus.
Or invasion.
Yeah, but listen though, that's the thing. Like, well, when we think about it, Switzerland is pretty hard to traverse through because of the Swiss Alps and everything. But the other thing is also Switzerland has, I believe, one of the better economies, one of the better economies of all the other European countries as well. And throughout history, they've also had a good standing economy. And that's also been one of the reasons for their involvements, for the actually not involvements in any sort of wars. And they've always stayed neutral because they didn't want to drag themselves into any war, because, well, they didn't want to get invaded, like you said. And then they didn't want to, have other countries destroy their economy and destroy their land and bring any sort of calamity, basically, like other countries have had. War brings you nothing but poverty and destruction to your country, except for who's going to profit from it: the military-industrial complexes. But it got me thinking that, what if Switzerland has always been about being the center of evil doings, and that's why all of these evil organizations are always headquartered there. CERN is not a company that has been highly touted to do something good for the humanity.
I don't think it did anything bad. I mean,
Well, what is CERN's logo? Look, pull up CERN really quick. I'm going to show you something. Here, pull it up here. Yeah, I want to see. So I'm going to show you something. Okay, CERN's logo is it's like a spherical thing. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like 3 little spheres. Okay.
Oh,
Now,
I know
what
where you're
is-
going with this.
yeah. Now,
Hold
what is associated with the 3? So once he pulls it up, I'll tell you. Yeah, just pull that up. That's fine. So look at that. Okay. What are those? Those are circles, but
three
in
sixes.
actuality, they're actually there's 3 6s. What is the 3 6s associated with? The 3 6s are associated with demonic cults and the devil.
Well,
And-
technically, it's more than 3 6s. Hold on.
No, it's 3 6s. So one. How many are pointing out? 1, 2, 3.
What's that extra? Well, one of us is like half a circle.
Yeah, but you're count the 3 major ones. So
More like 4 6s. Maybe?
yeah, but count the 3 major ones that are pointing out. The 3 long ones.
Well, actually, there's 5.
1 up top, 2 on the 2 major ones
yeah.
on the bottom. Okay, so those are the 3
No,
6s.
there's 3 6s and there's 2 P's.
Yeah. So
'Cause they
basically,
flipped it around.
yeah. So
'Cause we
obviously,
counted 5.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I guess, yeah, if you want to put P's,
So there's 3 6s and there's 2
maybe
P's.
a
That probably
P-
mean nothing.
P and a,
Yeah.
a P and a D.
that's how they do it, though. That's how they do it to kind of like not make it too obvious for their logos. I don't want to go down too far of a rabbit hole, but it was just a thought that occurred that why has Switzerland always stayed out of trouble? And why is always all of these like, I don't know, nefarious organizations, why are they almost all of them headquartered in Switzerland?
I always like, that's the thing, like, like all these billion-dollar companies,
Mm-hmm.
these or entities, right?
Right.
Hollywood, the music industry,
Right.
and like, shit like this.
Mm-hmm.
With CERN, they're so hell-bent on like, I guess like devil worship
Mm-hmm.
because they have these ceremonies,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's directly translated into like the movies and like music, right?
Right.
So like that's the part that always gets me. Like, if they're so like into like the devil, right?
Yeah.
Is there an opposite?
Has to be, right?
So
That's
like,
the thing.
right. So is
That-
there a God, and like, and that's the part that like kills me, is that like, do we need to like go to God?
And that's why
Because-
I believe a whole lot of people are now becoming more religious, because they're seeing this rise and this surge in
And evil.
in evil doing and evil
Evildoers.
uprising, basically. I don't know if you guys have realized, but a whole lot of people are becoming pretty religious, whether it's Islam, whether it's Christianity. There's a whole lot of people who are turning towards being true Christians and believing in Jesus and believing in God and everything, because they have been seeing a whole lot of evil doing. And they're like, and they're saying basically, if we continue to be lenient about these heinous acts and evil doings in all ways, shape, and form,
gonna take
everywhere,
over.
it's gonna
It'll be
get
too late.
yeah, it's gonna get to the point where it's too late, and well, we've doomed ourselves. So act before it's too late, type of thing.
So
And
that
that's how-
kind of comes back to we kind of dove off the solar eclipse part, didn't we?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Where the hell did we go?
I don't. It was
took
the
we took-
Switzerland thing, and
We took a dive there for a minute. But that actually does kind of come back. So like the guy who was making the more crazier claims that the world was going to end, a lot of these people who are claiming these things it does tie back to a religious
yeah,
kind of backing,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Coming of Jesus, that it's eternal darkness. And a lot of people want to just like quote the scripture.
Mhm.
And so I think there's a famous line that everyone always uses when somebody comes and they're like saying these doomsday, end of times. In the Bible, it states, no one will know when the end of time comes because it will just be,
Mhm.
right? No man will, or any entity on the planet will be able to tell or predict or anything. And so that's like, I always see that when I'm like, okay, somebody understands. Like, I'm not very religious, but like when somebody wants to then quote, some sort of religious scripture, usually a Christian, and it's the Bible,
Mhm.
and it's, there's evidently tales of the moon is to turn red. There's like supposed to be a phases of 3 moons, 3 days of darkness. These are all I think, what's the last book at the end of the, is it
Revelations.
Revelations? So a lot of people quote this, but then they have to go back and think, okay, well, you can't know when it's going to happen.
Right.
So I don't like this guy, he may be super religious and he may be, devout, but I just don't like the whole doomsday, like the Old Testament style way. That's a personal thing. I just think, whatever. I mean, it's your own page. You do what you want, but I just think it's
a lot of fear mongering.
It's too much fear mongering. And then I start to think, like, is this person doing it for views? Or are they doing it because actually what they think? Because, I mean, this guy banked 3 million views
In 4 days? Something like that.
in like a day.
You're talking about the TikTok guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In one video, he had 3 million views.
Yeah.
And then, his page didn't blow up and everything like that. And I don't know if he's making money off these views. But then, like I said, tip of the iceberg, I start to see other people putting these videos on, these fear-mongering people. And it's just like, dude, come on. There's a person who he took a snip from where it was local authorities were preparing for the event. And it was like 2 years.
Right.
And the guy like stops a video and like then he talks about it and he was like, 2 years? Why would they need to plan? Because, shithead, they got 100 people are going to be sitting in one spot. What if we've already had numerous terrorist attacks in various other places? The authorities would want to try and protect people to some extent if there's a large gathering of people. Like, people are not thinking about it in like in a way. And then especially when somebody just likes to take a snippet of information, not show you anything more. Because there's been numerous times where they've said, look, we're going to, we've been preparing for the solar eclipse because, we want to make sure all these people in one spot are safe. There's a large gathering, God forbid, look what happened in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
All those people gathered in that theater.
Yeah. And I mean, this is also like the mass gatherings and this special event. A lot of people were also claiming that the government is probably going to use this event, this time, this day to kind of cause some kind of,
Sacrificial event.
Maybe,
That's what I heard. I heard
and
people
then-
were just not even giving it any beating around the bush.
And I'm just like, okay, yeah, what happened?
That's what I'm
Dude,
saying. I don't think I heard anything
then-
horrible happening during.
they were
which is
also-
good. It's good.
They were also claiming that there's going to be a lot of rise in crime as well. Well, that's not too surprising. I wouldn't be surprised if there was, to be
People out
honest
there
with you.
howling at the moon.
Because,
What?
like, to be honest with you, sure. The rise in crime maybe would have been something that I would have been like, okay, yeah, no, I do believe that, and I'll, be a little more cautious of that, considering the fact how many illegal immigrants have been pouring into this country and causing crime
I don't think
everywhere.
they were going to use the eclipse as like a scapegoat, though.
Yeah, but
I don't think half of them probably even knew. What do you think they're stealing people's TVs like in the?
Well, no, I don't think they're that backwater gap people. I mean, I'm pretty sure they certainly knew, what an eclipse is, and especially the fact that these motherfuckers are making fucking TikTok videos of how to be squatters in people's houses and shit. Dude, if you can utilize a phone to make a in-depth video of basically a walkthrough, step by step of like, hey, this is how you become a squatter, and invoke your squatter rights and things like that, and like take people's homes. You want to post things like that on TikTok, you don't think they know about, the solar eclipse is going to happen on this day? And let's use the solar eclipse as an excuse to do some robberies or whatever.
We talking about eclipse or we talking about BLM?
Oh Jesus, this whole episode scuffed now.
You know, a lot of people were saying that a whole bunch of states, especially the states that were in the trajectory of the solar eclipse, have been preparing for this solar eclipse for years.
I mean,
Like doing prep work, like being, preparedness stuff.
yeah. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that because I mean, like you said, there was people that were coming from out of country. We had hotels that were booked. We had people traveling all over. Yeah, of course they're going to be prepared for this kind of thing. It only makes sense. Like it's not.
Dude, it's a solar eclipse. I mean, it happens every so often. And it was like for the people that saw nothing but clouds, I feel sorry for them.
Yeah, they spent a lot of money to move. And so the other people were claiming, they were like, why? Why would they need to? We knew about this solar eclipse and the last one that hit Texas in like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what year it was. It was like 45 years ago, I think. Maybe not exactly 45 years, but it was like 30 plus years ago, the last solar eclipse that hit Texas. And it was on the news. They had it on the news that, oh, the next eclipse is going to happen in 2024. And they let kids out of school then too. Like, this was nothing new. The only reason that this one was put more on the news and more people got it as fear-mongering is because they know people are going to be gullible enough to want to dive into the fear-mongering, and we had more than enough social media to be able to push around another solar eclipse. The last solar eclipse in 2012, that one was all over social media too. People were saying, oh my God, it's going to be the end of the world. Every other country had a nice solar eclipse. We had to have DEFCON 5 solar eclipse.
Basically.
I saw videos
Red
of people
alert,
in
National Guard on alert.
people in
Like-
South Africa. They're on the beach. It goes dark. Everyone's cheering. I did some videos of where people who were actually there
Yeah.
in the U.S. having a good time, cheering and things like that. But people in South Africa having a great time. You know, other places.
Was it a total eclipse or a? 'cause, the total eclipse was 1878.
No, there was another one that
Partial,
they.
maybe.
Yeah, it was like partial.
It was partial.
It was the last partial, but it was actually on the news. I had seen.
This was a total eclipse.
Yeah, this one. I don't know if Texas had the. No, they
Well,
did
you just had to be in the line of the trajectory
line of it, yeah.
where it was going to be.
to get the
Total
full,
eclipse,
yeah.
yeah.
But I want to say it was the last time they had like a pretty good one.
2023.
No. It was no. I don't think it was that. So the camera footage looked like super old, like 80s.
Yeah. But yeah, a whole lot of fear-mongering stuff that did not happen. Whole lot of speculations about a lot of crazy stuff, conspiracies, and nothing happened. And I hate the fact that people want to do things like this just to what?
1919, 1940, 1994, 2012.
Maybe it was 94.
Yeah, it might have been 94
Oh, that's not
For Texas specifically.
for
that's not
Texas.
40
Yeah.
years ago. It was a Texas. So it was I want to say it was
Was it
NBC.
Tejas?
NBC did it, and they were quoting it.
Mhm.
It was like a news article that I saw,
Different times.
and specifically, I watched the whole thing because there were people claiming that that there was like no other solar eclipse or something that had ever been like put on the news or it's wild stuff. I
Wild
just don't
stuff.
understand. Like, look, we like again. I'll reiterate. We like conspiracy theories. Don't make it a fear mongering thing. Don't make it a problem. Don't like try and
Well, no, don't make claims about things that
the end of the world.
absolutely does not make any sort of sense, because some conspiracy theories are like, okay, wait a minute, let them cook, because this might make sense. You start to connect the dots with some conspiracy theories,
Yeah.
and you start to think, okay, actually, you might have a point here. But for people who make baseless claims like this, the total eclipse caused earthquake in Taiwan. Like, come on, bro. How is the dot connecting on this? Come on.
I would hope
know?
that that the people that do this are doing it out of compassion and not, you know,
Yeah.
like maybe in their eyes.
Maybe 100% believes like this is
Yeah.
truth and fact. And but you,
I don't know if that's true, but I would hope.
yeah, that I would hope. But even still, it's just like maybe just presentation a little bit better, buddy. I don't know.
Lose the beard.
Lose your beard's weird. What's in the bowl? Cheerios or whatever he says. I don't know during that song. But
All right, let's wrap it up though. That's about all I had to kind of talk about since everything happened. I wanted to do a little recap of all of it.
we're still here.
Yeah,
Maybe earthquakes will happen.
in California,
Maybe a tsunami.
in Florida.
Maybe it'll be cloudy tomorrow. I don't know.
Hey, it's raining tomorrow.
Is it?
We're getting some rain. We're getting some
Yeah.
clouds.
Shit. Blood of Jesus. Raining blood.
Can't have them all.
Can't win them all. Maybe the next apocalyptic events, we won't be able to recap it.
Maybe. We'll see. All right, guys. Well, if you enjoyed the content that we shared today, if you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel here for more content like this and much more cool episodes coming your way. Go over to our Spotify channel for a great commute listen. Follow us over there. Leave us a review. And with all that being said, take us away.
Till next time.
See you guys.